RCSB.
All rise. Ready for the court now in session. Honorable Judge Oakley preside.
Have a seat. What are we doing?
It's. You look at the thing.
We holding? Mr. Perkins, are you ready on Abraham?
Yes, Mr. McCollum had to have his photo.
Okay.
Just be like, it's not gonna work. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, it's like, you know, over here, you.
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
I'll leave you there.
Officers, we have a waiver this morning. Are you guys home? If that's me, early.
Yeah.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
I think we go way before.
Close up.
Go sub.
It's up to him.
Are you ready for a waiver, counsel?
I'm ready for wait.
Let's do that before we start the exam. When's our AOA? Two weeks out or 1 week out? 23rd.
She's in her hospital days,
Yeah.
so it can be missed. It'll be
30.
Yes, yes. But if you know. I mean, if you want, we are going to need. Yeah. That's right.
Thanks, guys. Appearances on Kasab.
Morning, Your Honor, to you and your staff, Aaron Dan to the people, P7.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wyatt here, P54891 on behalf of the Division of Science. Please give me name for the record.
Alicia Kondo.
Thank you. Ms. Colzum, I understand you're going to waive your exam today. You've discussed your rights and options with Mr. Harris. You understand the purpose for the exam. You understand a waiver means the file's going downtown. Your next court date will be at the circuit court level. In understanding all of this, you're waiving freely and voluntarily today. All right. Counsels, are you satisfied?
Absolutely, Your Honor, thank you.
Satisfying.
AOI date will be next Monday, 9 a.m. Anything as to bond, folks?
Judge, it's my understanding that the bond is currently set at $50,000, 10%.
Yep.
With no contact with Robert Cuzzo. I also asked if she had not had any contact with the address in question.
Yeah.
With who? I'm sorry.
The address in question,
That's all part of it. Current bond.
yes.
Yep. It's all those are all terms are on.
So
Bond continued.
AY and that was set for the 30th, Judge.
Correct. 9 a.m. Good luck downtown.
Thank you, Your Honor. Happy holidays to you and your staff.
Appearance on Campbell?
We don't have to sign.
Yes.
Mary.
Yeah, come on up. Who's on Campbell?
And.
Your parents? I don't know. What are we gonna do?
My client's not here, so I assume it's gonna be a warrant.
Don't need the prosecutor for that. Put your appearance on the record.
Good morning, Judge, Junior Staff, Cody Bradford, neighborhood defender service, 85944, on behalf of Mr. Campbell.
Judge, he is not here today. I believe he thought it was on a different day. He sent me a photo of him working on a roof out in St. Clair's. So I would request an adjournment, but I understand.
Given the fact that he had another alleged violation of bond yesterday, bench warrant will issue.
That's fair.
Thank you.
Judge, have a good weekend. Or happy holidays.
You as well. Are we ready on Ibrahim? Appearances, if I didn't already do that.
Morning, Your Honor. I'm the hand. EA6, such as something.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to you, staff. They please sign a report. My name is Thomas Perkins, 55623. Here on behalf of Mr. Ibrahim, Ms. Ibrahim, can you state your name?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning. Mr. Mohammed, are you ready to call a witness?
Yes, Judge. And, request a mutual order of sequestration of an exception to the offering. Effective rice.
Ms. Perkins, you okay with sequestration? All right,
And I'm no witness.
thank you. Who's your first?
And Judge, one additional preliminary matter is there is stipulation in regards to the photos, some of the photos in this case, I believe they're being marked at this moment. Other than that, the people called Officer Madison.
Officer, come on up. Ms. Perkins, you agree that we're going to stipulate on some of those photos?
Yeah, yes.
Look-
I received those photos in the course of discovery. Other than calling the witness, I don't think that the officer testified is the one that took the pictures, but they appear to be the pictures that were at.
Okay, so how many, we're going to do those all as one exhibit?
Gonna have somebody walk away.
Well, it'd be, I think, multiple exhibits.
All right, then we won't even get into that yet. We'll let her get them all marked. Raise your right hand. Swear firm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth today?
Yes, sir.
Have a seat, watch your step on my ramp. When you're ready, counsel.
Thank you.
State,
Marcus Matheson,
spell the last.
Matheson.
Thanks. You get that, Heather?
Judge, I'd like to introduce some evidence, again, since the stipulation, people's proposed exhibit, people's exhibit number 1 through 6, and published to the court.
And 1 through 6, you want to see them quick to make sure the ones you see?
I will, I just want to know what 1 through 6 are, if I can,
Fair enough.
see it, just, you know.
And for the record, Judge, it is photos from the discarded bag.
Thank you. So those will come in? Thank you. 1 through 6 are admitted. Proceed.
Good afternoon. Good morning, Officer Matheson. Are you currently employed?
I am
And who's your employer?
Ron Ilstrom.
Okay, and in what capacity are you employed with?
I am a police officer.
Okay, and you worked the date of October 15th, 2024?
I did.
And did you work in that capacity as a police officer on that day?
I did.
Okay, and on October 15, 2024, did you work by yourself or with a partner?
I was with a partner,
Okay, what is the name of your partner?
Jonathan Knapp,
Okay, and on that day, did you work in full uniform or modified uniform?
full uniform.
Okay, and did you operate a scout vehicle or were you in a or on foot patrol?
We were in a fully marked patrol vehicle.
Okay. And was your attention drawn to the location of Ecorse Road in the city of Romulus, County of Wayne on that day?
Yes.
Okay, and what took you to that location?
We were dispatched to the location to.
Attention is to eat. Yeah, that would be your set.
Okay, officer, you can just testify to anything you say, anything the defendant says, anything you do, anything you observe, just don't testify to what another person
Absolutely.
said. So if you were dispatched, so you responded to this location,
Yes.
what was the nature of the response?
I was dispatched to initially a civil matter. Our dispatch put that in that the victim in this circumstance was requesting officer assistance in retrieving their stolen property.
Okay, did you make contact with anybody at that location?
I made contact at the corner of Middle Belt and first with, if I may refer to my report, I believe his name is Regalio Alanis, the owner of Royal Cement.
Okay, and did you figure out what the purpose of that meeting was?
I did.
Okay, and what was it regarding?
The owner of Royal Cement stated that he had property.
Okay, I understand. And you can't state what another person said in regard to anything besides authority to use. So was it in regard to whether somebody had possession of stolen property?
It was.
And did you learn as part of your investigation who that individual that you were speaking to was?
I did.
Who was he in regard to the stolen property?
The owner of the stolen property.
Okay, and did you learn whether or not anybody had permission to use that property from that victim?
There was no permission given.
Okay, who did you learn that from?
The owner of Royal Cement, Mr. Alanis.
Alright. And so what did you do after learning that information?
I asked him follow-up questions to better gauge why he was in the city of Romulus.
Okay, and so what did you do next?
I asked Alanis for what proof he had showing that this property that was stolen was in our city, and I also got his police report number from Lincoln Park, where the property was stolen from.
Okay, and what did you do next after that?
I examined his evidence.
What evidence were you presented?
Mr. Alanis showed me a GPS tracker that was placed on one of the pieces of equipment that were stolen, which gave a pin to a backyard off of Ecorse Road. He also provided me with Facebook conversation that was listing the product for sale on Facebook Marketplace, which listed an address which matched the GPS pin of the first piece that he presented with me.
Okay, now the stolen property, can you describe what it was?
Yes. It was a trailer with a track loader, a cat track loader, and a grappler was also on the trailer.
And what's the grappler?
A grappler is a piece of equipment used to pick up large pieces of broken concrete. It has a claw, two teeth on the top, one on the bottom, it picks heavier things up. So you don't have to break it down as far, it reduces manual labor. And then there was also a bucket attachment for the machine on the trailer and a cement tamper, which was also on the trailer. All things that were listed in the Lincoln Park original stolen.
Okay, and so besides the grappler, what else?
The track loader. Well, so we had the track loader, the grappler, the bucket, the tamper, and the actual trailer itself.
Okay, Judge, can I, thank you. And after observing, thinking of this location, what did you do? And learning what those items were?
I made the location,
Which location?
Mr. Abraham.
Okay.
his residence.
So what is that location, if you recall?
I don't recall the exact address, but it was on E-course and it was a south facing house.
Okay, with referring to your report, help refresh your recollection?
It would. It's going to be 29016 E-course Road in Romulus, Michigan.
Is that in the county of Wayne?
It is.
Okay, and when you made that location where those stolen items were pinging from, what did you do?
We first looked on the property.
No, but who else was?
My partner, Officer Knapp, was with me.
Okay, and so you make that location.
Yep.
And what do you do?
First, we looked to see if we can see it from the street.
And could you see it?
We could not.
Okay, then what did you do next?
We went to the front door of the residence and knocked and spoke with the people inside the home.
Okay, so walk us through it. So you knock on the front door, then what happens next?
I believe Miss.
Was it the front door?
It was the front door.
Okay,
Yep.
and what happened next?
I believe Miss Tecco answered the door, who was the female that was in the residence at the time. And we asked her if anyone else was home. She stated that yes, her friend was home.
I would agree, Doug. It is hearsay. So I'll ask you, after you had a discussion with a lady,
Yes,
what happened next? After your discussion with?
I asked the young lady if we could look in the backyard for possible property that was missing. And that's when Mr. Abraham made the front door and stated that he would not let us onto the property without a search.
Okay, and did you learn who Mr. Ibrahim was?
Yes, we identified him via his Michigan driver's license for
And-
identification card.
And do you recall what the address of that on the driver's license was?
It came back to the same address we were standing at.
Okay. And what did he say exactly? He said you need a search warrant?
I asked for his permission, because he was the homeowner, if I could go into his backyard to search for property that was pinging with a GPS tracker. Mr. Abraham responded, you're not going into my yard without a search warrant.
Okay. And so and now Mr. Ibrahim, the individual that you observed that said that you're not going into my backyard, you see that individual in the courtroom?
I do.
Can you please point to him and point out an article of clothing?
Mr. He's sitting right here and he has a black jacket on.
Noted for the record.
Thank you. And so what did you do next after he informed you of that?
We got pertinent information that we normally put into report, which would be phone numbers, names. And then I called my lieutenant at the station, informed him of the circumstances. And he told me to stand by in the area to make sure no one leaves that property.
Okay, then what happened next?
We were informed, myself and Officer Knapp. I was informed by,
Well, you can't say what another person said.
okay,
Alright, so but somebody made contact with you, you can testify.
correct.
But you just can't say what that other person said unless it's the defendant.
Okay.
You can say anything a defendant says, just not what another person, unless it had some sort of an effect on you.
Right,
Like if it caused you to change your next move,
right.
alright? So,
Sergeant Otter called me on the telephone, my personal cell phone. I was told that we were putting a search warrant.
what you can't say what he said.
I'm sorry.
It's
A search warrant was being put together and to stand by at the property.
okay, so as part of your investigation, you learned that a search warrant was being,
Requested.
okay. And so then what happened after that?
I stood by in the area until further instruction was received.
Okay, and at some point, was there a search warrant conducted?
There was.
Okay, and were you a part of the search warrant team that made entry into the home?
I was.
Okay, and.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
You're. What is it? You can do. We'll do all.
This one makes sense. Yes. Judge, I'd like to introduce into evidence Pursuant to stipulation with defense, People's Exhibit number 7, which is the search warrant.
Thank you. Stipulated, Mr. Perkins? Exhibit 7 stipulation.
It is a stipulation.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Application, search warrants and return.
Whole packet.
Correct.
And just for the record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Go ahead.
And so did you make entry with the search warrant team?
I did.
Okay, and what did you do?
I was the last person in the house. We cleared the house, ensured that no other occupants were made once the 2 occupants that we knew were there were out. At that point, I was assigned to take the backyard and begin searching for the property that we were out there for.
Okay, and do you observe anything that drew your attention when you were on that property?
I did. There were multiple trailers, multiple vehicles, multiple pieces of construction equipment all back there. I went straight for where the ping of the GPS was, which was located behind the garage of the property from a satellite view, and discovered the track loader as described.
Okay, and I'm gonna hand you exhibits 1 through 6. Can you take a moment and look through that,
Yes, sir.
through all 6 photos? Or all 6 exhibits? Take your time if you need it.
Yeah.
Okay, those 6 exhibits, do you recognize?
You're gonna hold?
I do.
How do you recognize them?
I was in the backyard. I found those items in the backyard.
Okay, and did you learn what those 6 exhibits were in relation to this?
I did.
What were they?
I had the serial numbers that were provided to me.
By who?
Through the Lincoln Park Police Department police report by way of Mr. Alanis.
Okay,
And the serial number of the track loader matched what was listed in the police report. The VIN on the trailer matched what was stolen in the Lincoln Park police report. And the other items, the grappler had a serial number on it as well. It matched the police report that we were given. And the bucket and the tamper matched the descriptions that were given. They did not have serial numbers on them.
okay, and are those any of the items that you observe in?
They are.
Okay, is anything from 1 through 6 different than what you're stating?
No. I don't recall, number 2.
Okay,
I'm not sure if that was included.
okay.
All right, everything else. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, and after you observed the stolen items, what did you do after that?
I verified through my dispatch that that was the property that was stolen, and relayed that information to the team I was with.
And what did you do after that?
Continued searching the property. We had a search warrant for the entire property. We made entry into the garage where more materials were found. I went through the garage and ran several bins from several motorcycles that I discovered. There were plenty of tools that had no serial numbers listed on there, and went through and essentially cataloged everything that I found and reported back.
Okay, in regards to the stolen items that you just observed
Yeah.
on the
Objection,
exhibits.
objection, that is some of the fact, not an evidence, it's a report that he has, but for the office, for the prosecutor to infuse that in there, that still has to be proven, that it's just look at a report.
Rephrase your question.
I was just saying, in regards to the exhibits that were introduced, that you
Yes.
just had an opportunity to review.
Yes,
Did you return those to the victim?
we did.
Okay. And at any point during your investigation, did you learn the price of the stolen items?
I did not.
Okay, no further questions.
Counsel, any questions for this officer?
Good morning. I think it is.
It's always morning somewhere, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, it is. Good morning, Matheson.
Yes, sir.
You said that you went to this location as a result of, being contacted, you, hold on just one moment. That, as a result of being contacted by a layperson, is that fair?
I'm sorry.
A layperson contacted you, or somehow you made contact with a layperson, you described that individual as whom? What was the name that you described?
Elio Alanis?
Alanis.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's a gentleman or a man, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Alanis comes and, further. So now, who is Rogelio Santos?
I believe that's the same person. That's just the middle name.
Okay, so did you author a report in this particular matter?
I did, sir.
Okay, and is your report, would that start with R.P. Matheson M?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and, do you have your report with you?
I do, sir.
Okay, could you look at page 13 of 18? Is that how your report is done?
Yes. It's just out of order. Here it is.
Okay, it indicates a Rogelio Santos? In that bottom paragraph, it says arrival, and then it indicates that Rogelio Santos?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, and for the purpose of the record, when we say Rogelio, we're saying Rogelio?
To my knowledge, sir, yes.
Correct, I mean, that's what's written in your report.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Santos, Santos?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's not a mention or reference to Alanis, is that what you were saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where did you get Alanis from?
That would be on his Michigan driver's license, sir.
Okay, do you have a copy of that?
I don't.
Okay, did you get a copy of that for the
I do.
purpose of this investigation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't capture that?
Yes, sir.
It is,
I believe on page, if you don't mind if I look.
absolutely,
Okay.
Would that refresh your memory to be able to?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
All right. His license number is listed on page 3.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, I did not,
Oh, yeah, so on page 3, his license is listed first, middle, last.
okay. Okay, so the reference of Rogelio Santos, that's just the omission of the last name, is that fair?
Yes.
You read in the report.
Right.
Okay, so, that individual provided you with a, Lincoln Park police report, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And based upon that Lincoln Park police report, based upon this, transponder, or, what did you describe it as a beacon, so to speak?
GPS tracker.
A GPS tracker,
Yes, sir.
it caused you to do further investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
The further investigation you did was you went to that property, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
After meeting with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and, after meeting with him, you, then went to this property and you engaged people who were at the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, when you say that, were you body cammed at the time?
Absolutely.
Okay, and when you interacted with those individuals, what you're doing and you're talking about the interaction is based upon your memory,
Yes, sir.
not necessarily, for the most part, you were denied entry into that residence.
Absolutely.
Okay, what was specifically said, you more rely upon your body camera than what's in your memory, is that fair?
On this case, possibly, yes, sir.
Okay. And, but nonetheless, the gravamen of what happened was that you were denied entry or access to the property.
Yes, sir. We asked permission and we were denied,
No,
and we left it at that.
okay. And when you, at some point in time, you got a search warrant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Or
Our department.
Sergeant Otter or someone in your department got a search warrant, which you recognize was the only mechanism after being denied entry to get into that property, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, may I approach her?
Sure.
Exhibit 7.
Yep. 7.
And you had an opportunity, if I may, you had an opportunity to review that search warrant at some point in time, did you not?
I did, sir.
Okay, and in that search warrant, it reflects in that search warrant, you agree, having looked at that search warrant, and you can look at it if I ask you a question.
Okay.
are unable to recall if that may refresh your memory. That's a search warrant that one is not signed by the prosecution, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, in that search warrant, it indicates, would you agree? May I approach the witness?
Sure.
Okay. Would you agree that where it gives, it gives the directive, let's go directly to the search warrant. Where it gives the directive of what is the, describing the place to be searched, it indicates this location, and it indicates all vehicles, outbuildings, and tent structure of the property. And then it goes into further described as a single level house with that tan vinyl siding. You correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me ask you this. In this particular property, there is an outbuilding, correct?
Yes, sir.
That outbuilding is not the residence, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and now in that particular drafting of that, as you read that, that first paragraph or the first sentence, it describes, and it doesn't describe the residence itself, is that correct?
In the first sentence, it does not.
Okay, and you agree that that first sentence, the second sentence, and you agree that words matter, do they not?
They do so.
Okay, and it particularly as words are written into a search warrant, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you agree as that document is written, and as you may read it, it does not, in that particular paragraph, does not authorize the search of the particular residence, is that correct? Or do you read it differently?
I did not see anything specific to the residence, the household.
Right. Okay, and now full disclosure, I have to be an officer of the court. Now, you would agree that in the next paragraph, I'm sorry, thank you. And to seize, secure, tabulate, regular language that you see, make, return according to law, following property and things. And it describes photographs of the interior of the house, property, outbuildings, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And in that particular paragraph, it doesn't specifically provide you with the authority to take information or take things out of the house other than what's in that paragraph, is that correct?
I can't speak on that. I'm not 100% sure on that, sir.
Okay. Now, you would agree that you described what you've done, and then you described that you contacted dispatch to confirm that that was a report that was made with Lincoln Park, correct?
That the serial numbers were matching to the report.
To the
From
report,
Lincoln Park.
correct.
Yes.
You yourself did not contact Lincoln Park, correct?
I did not contact Lincoln Park, no, sir.
Okay. You yourself did not contact the officer who authored the report from Lincoln Park, correct?
No, sir, that's not part of our protocol usually.
I understand, but you didn't, but you agree that in order to bring evidence and come into court, you understand you have to have,
Yes, sir.
you have to do the investigation and the steps in order to allow this judge to pass muster, is that fair?
Absolutely.
All right, and other than, and you agree that when you talk to this individual, you didn't demand any other information other than that report, is that correct?
As which individual are you speaking of, sir?
Mr. Alanis,
Okay,
you didn't ask Mr. Alanis to see a title, is that correct?
they don't have titles for things like that, sir.
Okay,
Yep, he
So-
didn't have those in his possession. No,
okay, he didn't have those in his possession.
correct.
And other than what is written in that Lincoln Park report, that's the only authority that you believe that you had in order to tell your team to go and execute a search warrant to conduct a further investigation of that property, is that correct?
Correct, I was working on good faith.
Understood, but you agree that by working on good faith without the investigation could have the tendency to violate something that's more important, which is the constitutional right.
Sure.
Potentially, correct?
Absolutely could.
And if that good faith was disturbed by someone else, and you don't know this individual, you didn't know Alanis, Mr. Alanis before today, right? Before
Correct.
today.
Correct.
You didn't have any personal relationship.
No, sir.
You don't know Mr. Ibrahim, is that?
No, sir.
So you had no dog in that race, is that fair?
That,
So you would agree that as you went in there as an officer, how long you been an officer?
with the Romulus Police Department a year and a half.
Okay, but you, sounds like you've been an officer longer than that.
I was at the federal government for 9 years.
Correct. Someone. But you'd agree that to determine whether or not something is in fact stolen, you remember my objection, Brother Counsel was saying that. You'd agree that as you sit here today, the steps in determining whether something is actually stolen or not has not even been made at this point, is that fair? Other than this individual coming to you with a report saying that it's stolen, correct?
If I have a verified report from another agency, I'm gonna take that true to its word.
Understood, but what I'm saying is, all you have from that report and looking at that particular report is that someone declared in another agency that this item was stolen, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Or you have nothing else individually on your own, is that correct?
At that point, no, sir.
Okay. And you'd agree that it's at that point that you made the determination, or the determination was made in order to seek relief from the court to ultimately enter onto this property without the consent of the owner, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You yourself never ran lien for these particular items, is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And you are any of your prior to, and you don't know if lien was run prior to the execution of the search warrant, correct?
I could not tell you. No, sir.
You indicated that you learned of Mr. Ibrahim's identity. That was after you entered onto the property, is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay, you learned of his identity. How was it that you learned of his identity?
Through a voluntary contact at his front door, a knock and speak.
Oh, you said he wouldn't give you his name.
He gave me his name and ID.
Okay,
Teco provided the name and ID.
okay, so Mr. Ibrahim did not.
Right.
Okay. This one.
He did yell it from inside the house, if my memory serves me correctly.
You agree in your report, can you look at page 14 of 18? You indicated after collecting information from Santos, officers made contact at the listed address. Officers knocked on the front door of the residence and spoke to male who refused to identify himself. Is that correct?
At first, yes.
Okay. And it indicates later identified as Ibrahim, is that correct?
Yes.
When is, what did you, and that's the only descriptive information? You would also agree later on in that paragraph when you asked for Ibrahim's identification or Amjad's identification, it was refused or was declined, is that correct?
Yes.
And it also indicates in there that it's only sending Kayleen Teco, Kayleen, Kayleen, Teco, Tekko, to the door to provide her information, is that correct?
He sent her to the door with his information.
What I'm saying is in that writing, what you have, I didn't misspeak, did I not?
It says officers asked Amjad for his identification and phone number, and he declined sending Kayleen Teco to the door to provide her information. Officers took her information, cleared the residence.
Correct. There's no head in there, right?
Right.
You just said words matter, do they not? And you agree that as it's written here, for anyone else to proceed, as they read this, it would not include Mr. Ibrahim as a male, is that correct?
Sure.
It would only include, as you might read it and understand it, Ms. Teco, is that correct?
Yes.
You would agree that there's certain things you said that had serial numbers, and one of the things that connected you to this particular item was the fact that there was some continuity between the serial numbers that were provided to you in that police report and that were verified when you contacted Lincoln Park, is that correct?
I did not contact Lincoln Park. They were in the police report, sir.
They were in the police, I'm saying. You contacted dispatch. I didn't misspeak, I'm sorry. You contacted dispatch, and it's the understanding that you had was that it was a confirmed report to Lincoln Park, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you would agree that that in and of itself only suggests that an individual made a report that had serial numbers, but you had no other information that validated that person's assertion that it was stolen, is that correct?
And my knowledge at that time, you're correct.
And again, it's at that particular time that a search warrant was sought, correct?
Correct.
And you would agree with all your training and your understanding of how search warrants, you've done search warrants before, have you not, or been involved in search warrants?
No, sir, this is my first search warrant.
Okay. But you understand that the execution of the search warrant, at the time of the execution of the search warrant, there has to be probable cause at that particular time, correct?
Yes.
And you agree without any information substantiating whether or not that is in fact stolen, and the information that you had, that's not probable cause, is that fair?
I provided the information I was given, and a search warrant was applied not by me, sir. So I did not make that determination.
But
I provided my information to my supervisors, and it went through channels. So I cannot speak on the probable cause that they saw. I gave them my information.
Can I turn that report?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. And you would agree that the information that you provided this morning, the information that you provided was that an individual said something was stolen from their lot, is that correct?
Not just said something, but had a verified police report from another agency.
Understood, but in this situation, it does not, just a moment. You'd agree that in this particular affidavit, because it's the affidavit that precedes getting the search warrant signed, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you'd agree that in this search warrant, it doesn't reference the Lincoln Park Police Report, is that correct?
I'm unaware. I did not offer the.
But you can review it, let me ask you to review it. And I know I understand, but you'd agree that you're the source of information that was used by another officer for the purposes of seeking that search warrant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You'd agree that in that report, in that affidavit, it doesn't reference anything about a Lincoln Park Police Report, is that correct?
Do a quick review. I did not see any updates.
Okay, we'll take all the time you need.
Yep.
Okay, but you would agree, as I'm asking that question, even quick review or longer review, you don't believe that it's gonna reference in that particular document a Lincoln Park Police Report, is that correct?
I believe so, sir. Yes.
Okay, and you would agree that only thing that it says in there is that it's information provided, assuming by you, because you're related to, I believe it's Sergeant Otter,
Yes.
correct? Otter, Otter, Commonsville.
Yes.
Okay. That you related there, that an individual said that this vehicle was, these items were stolen, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, and provided you some serial numbers.
Correct.
Okay, and you can only assume, based upon what you're reading in the four corners of that document, that that was all that was provided to a judge who signed that particular search warrant, is that correct?
That assumption, yes, sir.
Okay. Again, as you read that, Mayor.
Yes.
As you read that, you would agree that that information, because you said, you said it a couple of times, which was significant about what you felt further the investigation was that you had a validated report from Lincoln Park, correct?
Yep.
But you'd agree that that information was also not in this search warrant, correct?
I did not see it in that search warrant.
Okay, and you would agree that without that information, because you made it a critical part of your determination of it being probable cause to go further into this investigation with the search warrant, that it not being there, that would jaundice or take away your ability to assert that there's probable cause, in your opinion.
I don't have an opinion, sir. I speak in facts, so I can't really speak an opinion.
There's a fact that this Lincoln Park Police Report is not in there, correct? It's a fact that you made a determination that the Lincoln Park Police Report was important in your determination as to whether there's probable cause, correct?
I did not make that determination.
But
So
you-
I made the determination based on what I had at that time to make a voluntary contact at the front door.
Understood, but you, in your assessment,
Yes.
you described, because I said, in your determination of whether there's probable cause, I said, you only had the information of this individual who said it's stolen, and you offered that it was, oh no, I had a validated or a Lincoln Park Police Report, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You would agree that based upon that colloquy that you and I had, that was an element in your mind and in your opinion, that probable cause was more solidified with the assertion of it being a validated Lincoln Park Police Report, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and without it, it takes away from your determination, in your opinion. I understand there are other people's opinions that play here, but in your opinion, a probable cause at that point without that information, correct?
I don't believe so.
Why not? Why, well, let me ask you this. Will you agree, you understand the term superfluous or redundant? You would agree that it's superfluous to add, if you don't believe so,
Right.
And you offered those information when I asked you those questions.
Yeah.
Then it was superfluous to add in the fact that it was a validated legal purpose.
Sure.
Okay. But that thing goes against what we talked about as far as when I said that was the only reason why you felt.
Mr. Perkins, I'm gonna cut you off.
Oh,
I got a whole bunch of
I
examples.
got it. Okay.
And whether or not he thought there was probable cause means nothing.
Got it.
Because he didn't sign the search warrant.
Okay. Well, you know where I'm going.
I do.
Okay. You'd agree also within that, within the information that you saw, I'm gonna mark this as in your using a, are you
know what you need.
well, I'm using A letters.
Oh,
No, this is in.
You're gonna use whatever Heather wants you to use.
Yes, you will.
Letters, okay?
You want me to-
Letters or numbers?
Do letters.
Is it for yours?
It's for me.
We can do, letter.
Okay. May I approach it?
Yes.
And I will do whatever.
So just one.
Yes. Thank you. May I approach the witness here?
Sure.
Oh, you'd agree that this is an item that was taken from the property also, is that correct?
I don't recall this. I was outside. I didn't see the property that came in. I did not categorize the property.
Okay, now you'd agree, are you gonna sit there? Oh,
So, and then,
yes. So I would move for the entry of exhibit A.
With the stipulation for the people that'll come in.
Now, you'd agree that that particular document proposes itself to be a bill of sale, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you recognize in that particular document, it has a serial number that's consistent with the skid steer in your police report, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Not the one in question, however. That's for a second skid steer that was found in the back of the property.
okay, fair enough, all right. Now, let me ask you this. So now, you indicated in this report that it's a two thousand twenty-one skid steer. You would agree that in the search warrant, it indicates a 2021 cat skid steer with the serial number consistent with this particular report, is that correct? Let me show you if I.
Yeah.
I'll finish this up. You would agree that I'm showing you the search warrant and affidavit, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you'd agree that there's a serial number here, number CW 9102222, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd agree that on this bill of sale, there's a serial number CW 9102222.
Yes, sir.
Okay, those are considered, I just said the same thing, is that correct?
Yes.
And that's what's on the bill of sale that was taken, what was constituted as having been taken from that property, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
You would agree that that information, may I, published in the report?
Sure.
All right. You would agree that that information throws into conflict your belief of a sole and particular item, is that correct?
Sir, you would give me a minute to look over my report, to see if I can find a piece of categorized evidence that was in the house that would relate to that bill of sale that you had.
Sure, you
Please.
can, if it helps you answer that question or refresh it.
Yes, sir. I just want to make sure, I want to see if it's in here, if my memory is serving me correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, so on page 5 of the report, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Going to be on number 2599, page 5, it's going to be listed as identification documents.
Okay,
That was the driver's license was in the home, in the desk that Mr. Abraham worked at. It
okay,
was the same name that was used on the bill of sale. And I worked midnights, so 10:15 was the midnight shift for me. That bill of sale was labeled 10:14 after the vehicle had been stolen.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, but using your investigative wheels, it would suggest to you that there's a transaction that took place. It could have been a transaction that took place after the sale by this individual who you described as, would it be Aaron, Robert, Zachary, Casey?
I believe that's the name that was on exhibit D. Sir.
Okay, when you're talking about a valid, this is a valid piece of identification, is it not?
The one that he had in his desk, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and, did anybody do any research to determine who that individual was?
I'm unaware.
I just want to make sure I understand it. There was a driver's license or a piece of ID in the home on Ecorse in the name of Aaron Robert Zachary.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And there was a different picture of a different individual on that license, is that right? Was it not?
It was
It
not.
wasn't Mr. Ibrahim.
It was not.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Mohammed, any questions for this officer?
Yeah, just very brief. So did you determine that the items were stolen just on the Lincoln police report, or was that including the discussion of the victim as well?
Both.
So what exactly did the victim tell you in regards to the permission to use that property? Did the defendant have permission?
Objection. It's hearsay.
1101B8, that's whether the defendant had permission to use the property.
Withdrawn.
That's why I like you. Go ahead.
I was informed that the property was stolen and no permission was given.
Okay. And that victim described those items, correct? Alright. And when you recovered those items, the ones that you described earlier, the heavy equipment that was stolen, did you return it yourself to the victim? Or did you observe someone do it, or?
The Royal Cement crew came and retrieved. None of us had the experience to drive that skid steer out.
Okay, and did you observe that happen?
Yes.
Alright. And I believe earlier you mentioned that the pinging led you to the precise location where the items were.
Yes.
Alright. Now, besides the driver's license and the defendant being at that location, was there anything else that you did that would reflect that he's the homeowner of that location?
When I asked him if I could search his property,
Beyond the scope, I never asked if he was the home.
Yeah, I think it does go beyond scope. He did.
So,
And I got a memory good enough for that.
alright, no further question.
Any redirect or recross? Yeah.
You would agree that this evidence, you believe to be stolen evidence, correct?
yes, sir.
At the time that you're in the process of an investigation, even before he's even booked and lodged, this property was given back to what you believe to be the person who claimed it was stolen?
I am unaware of the timeline, sir.
Okay, but shortly, within the night, it was given back,
Yes, sir.
not retained,
No, sir.
not placed on hold for evidentiary purposes.
No, sir.
Nothing further.
Officer Matheson, step down. Can we send him back to work? I'm assuming he's
Yes.
working today.
No, I worked all night.
And
Did you? Now go home and get some sleep. Be safe.
Thank you, sir.
You did a real nice job on the stand.
Appreciate you, sir.
And Merry Christmas.
Judge, I'm gonna call one more witness and it's an offer of proof. It's just in regards to the price of the stolen items.
Okay. Who is it?
For the purpose of this exam, I don't have an issue with.
Okay,
You'll stipulate that it's $20,000 or more?
there's no further comments. And no further witnesses.
For the purposes of exam purposes, we don't.
Appreciate the stipulation. So you're ready for argument? Because he already told me he's not putting witnesses on.
Correct.
Still saying. All right, so I'm ready. I'm ready for argument.
Your Honor, I think several different issues prevent the bind over at this point. One, I believe that as you look at that search warrant, as you look at the information.
I think I got it. Go ahead.
Hey, what transpired in here? There's a declaration of some stolen property that is without any any steps of investigation to determine. And in that report, it doesn't suggest, or excuse me, not report.
Affidavit.
that affidavit that leads to them even being able to, because essentially when you serve a search warrant, it's a violation of somebody's constitutional right. It's just almost like a super order of the court for these purposes only. And when you look at that, it clearly does not establish the probable cause. It's saying that it's stolen it's a runaway, I guess, not a guess. What I'm saying is even on the four corners of the document, for someone to declare that it's stolen without having any proof that it is, other than having a Lincoln Park police report, which is also not even stated in the search warrant, it is an abomination to say that that person's property should be intruded upon. And for that purpose, I believe the search should be suppressed. And, you know, it's a four corners argument. I mean, even beyond the evidentiary hearing, but you have some supplemental information to gauge that on, and to gauge what's not in there. So you yourself, and I know sometimes he would be entitled to an evidentiary hearing, but we're moving on the four corners of the document. Then secondly, there's no ability for my client to gauge what was actually retrieved from that particular property, since the police department decided, I'm gonna take this evidence, which right out of the scene, it's by his words, that day was given back to these individuals. So in the face of having a document that says, and puts into question, who is in fact the real owner? Is it Robert Zachary or the individual that we described that's in the bill of sale? Or is it this individual Santos, or excuse me, Alanis? So with those things in play, there is a comedy of different things that should prevent this from being bound over. And I think that constitutionally it shouldn't be bound over at all, because I believe that the search warrant is a runaway bastion of injustice to allow that to stand as a search warrant that establishes probable cause. And particularly in this situation, like you said, doesn't matter what he thinks. But again, it's important as to what was transposed, and also you go into, there is a question of credibility, whether it be credibility or memory. They said that he identified himself. It's clear from that report he didn't. Now, maybe his memory serves differently, but as I asked him those questions, he didn't say that his report was wrong. He just said that that was what happened, but his report clearly doesn't say that. So you can do this a couple of different ways. You could either say that he's maligned and he's not telling the truth, or his memory is just not as he recounts those events. Because one or two of them exist. One, Miss Tecco was the one who only provided her information, or two, that just didn't happen that he provided his information. Well, it's more than one thing. You got various many different variables of how you can take that. But again, all of these factors, I surmise and ask the court to make a finding that there should not have been an intrusion onto this particular property with that particular search warrant. Furthermore, there's no establishment that he stole anything. There's a bill of sale inside the property for that particular piece of property that's in question.
That's not signed.
No, it is signed. Or maybe it doesn't even signed.
The one I've got's not signed. The one I've got looks like somebody printed it off a computer.
No. I've got one. But I gave you the wrong one then. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Judge, can I get a copy of the search warrant?
No, because I'm reading that right now.
Oh,
I want to read the affidavit.
that's the one. It's the separate one.
All right, so we should correct the record if you want me to rely on this
I
one.
do.
Substitute this one for the one council's saying.
Then instead of, I don't think we can destroy it from the record. Could we make that A2?
Whatever you two agree on is okay with me.
It's.
Are you okay with doing an A7?
I'm okay with introducing both of these. If they were both in the discovery packet that was turned over from our office, I was stipulate any.
So let's give the unmarked one to Heather and she's gonna mark that as 7A. Mr. Perkins, was that your A2? Okay, okay. All right, so Mr. Perkins, I want to make sure I understand your argument. First one, I understand you don't think the search warrant gave them a right to search.
Right.
Okay, no, you can sit, that's all right. The next issue is, how does this bill of sale lead to a dismissal of these charges?
No, what I'm saying is that their determination as to whether or not, this item is stolen.
Right,
You don't have he says he saw a Lincoln Park police report. We don't have, and he says that he received information that it was a valid made report, but there's no affirmation or anything other than a person, just let's say.
all right, let me stop you. You're not saying, this argument's not going to the search warrant, this argument's going to the bind over because they didn't prove anything was stolen.
Well, it helps with the search warrant to the extent that in the search warrant, they list that serial number to establish.
Okay.
That's it. But that primarily goes to saying that nothing was stolen.
Okay,
And they haven't established, and it does go to the search warrant to the extent that what they use is, sort of like, lacking in any, investigatory steps to substantiate in a sworn affidavit. What
right,
missing is that they swore in an affidavit that it's stolen.
right.
But they did nothing to substantiate it other than a person saying it and having gone, apparently, for the purpose of this record, having gone into Lincoln Park Police Department to make a report to that effect. Nothing further. And yet, in the face of all that, you see a bill of sale that has that serial number and it questions it and it's signed by someone else, which would further lead, okay, if, as the officer said, that item was stolen before the transaction date on it. He's a BFB. Clearly by the signed document, he's a BFB by someone else. So if he's in possession of that, having been signed, and Aaron, I can't remember the individual's name, and I don't want to butcher it, but that individual declaring that he has a bill of sale that he signs off on, he thereby becomes a BFB. So this is not even a question of fact as it relates to who stole this item and whether or not he knowingly or any evidence to say that he knowingly possessed stolen property.
Okay, and then you had a third item, which was something about the ID.
No,
How they found out who he was.
but more so the investigatory steps, and that went to John,
Okay.
Alice, or John, the testimony.
Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, I want to make sure I understood the arguments before I give Mr. Mohammed a chance to respond. So this is your chance to respond.
Judge, what was the name on that, bill of sale?
On the bill of sale, it's Aaron Robert Zachary.
Judge, we don't have any information as of right now that I'm aware of. Even though OIC was here present in regard to who that is. So frankly, the officer in charge doesn't even know where it's come from.
What came from a desk drawer?
I know it's a photo,
Came from the defendant's desk drawer is what I heard.
and so I don't know what exactly it is, because I don't know if it's a situation, and I don't wanna speculate, right?
No, that's fine.
Potentially, like, if he's forging a document, that's possible, but what we know for sure is that the officer had contact with the owner of the property. And then the owner of the property had reported it stolen, which led them to that location based off of the things.
Okay, that's,
So that's just, go ahead.
go ahead, Emily.
And then in regards to,
We'll come to that point before you.
yeah.
So the only evidence that you say that anyone in this whole debacle is an owner is Aaron Zachary. There's no information, no documentation from the other individual, Mr. Alanis, that says he's the owner, nothing. He didn't get anything from him. The only thing that you have in front of you, and there's no investigation as to whether that, and having did anything to impugn that particular document for this purposes, they gotta go start over again. But I don't think they start over again because I still think the search warrant is bad, but nonetheless, this is a situation in which they don't have, there's nothing on this record. The only thing on this record that substantiates or indicates that an individual is the owner of a document that you have in front of you is the state of Michigan document, it's a bill of sale being sold by the owner.
The council, this has not been processed by the state of
It
Michigan.
doesn't, they don't.
It's not completely filled out by the state of Michigan or anybody else. It doesn't have a buyer's name on it.
Right, but I'm saying, it's like I buy cars, and I buy a car from used car. All I want them to do, all I want the owner to do is to sign the title. That's how documents and items in the state of Michigan that have those type of serial numbers are transferred. Because that's, otherwise it'd be, well, in real property, we talk about the violation of statute of frauds. But in this situation, the only thing, because as much as you may want to look at that document.
But hold on, let me cut you off because I got a lot of stuff scheduled today. And I love the argument, but I'm not buying the argument because when I go and buy something and the seller signs off as on the bill of sale, I don't take his driver's license home with me and put it in the drawer with the bill of sale. This, to me, if the driver's license for Aaron Robert Zachary is found where this is and the buyer information is blank, this is what he's getting ready to pass off when he sells that stolen skid steer. Look, here's the ID. He's my buddy. Here's the bill of sale. He signed off. We're going to put your name in here and send you on your way with this $20,000 piece of equipment. That's what this looks like to me.
I understand, but I think that in order to make that assessment, we have so many things that they haven't established on the record. The only thing we have on the record is that other than the statement.
No. But that's not the only thing. We've got the officer's testimony that he met a guy that not only had the serial numbers, if they're not his, how did he have the serial number for him? He also had the tracker for the equipment to show the officer, this is where the tracker shows my equipment is. Just a random guy going down the street's not going to have that to show the officer. And it's a probable cause hearing. Do they have problems to convict him in front of a trier of fact? Absolutely. But a probable cause hearing today? It's enough. And I got to tell you, and you know, I've been signing search warrants for a long time. I would have signed this search warrant without a second thought. What it says, what Judge Green was given was, on Tuesday, owner reports items stolen, and they're listed, obviously. Item 1. Item 2, owner met with Romulus PD, showed the tracker for one of the items at the location that they wanted the search warrant for. That and that alone would have caused me to sign the search warrant. I love the arguments. I'm just not buying them, with all due respect. I'm going to bind over. First of all, before we get to the bind over date, sir, do you know you've got a misdemeanor pretrial up January 2nd on a drove without license suspended charge? You know about that?
I thought it was January, I didn't know it was January 2nd, but
I've got January 2nd with Judge Martin by Zoom, 9:20. All right. So on this file, there's all the exhibits. Pardon? Yeah. Yeah. This one, defense plaintiff. AOI date is going to be Monday. No, 2 weeks out, right? So January 6th.
yes.
Thank you.
I'll continue bond and I will wish you gentlemen good luck downtown.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Merry Christmas, Counselor. Oh, I'm going to need your signatures on this too.
Yeah.
As soon as I get done scribbling on it, Joe. And then round up another one.
Your Honor, briefly, I did want to address one thing. They took approximately $7,000 out of this residence. And it was in the young lady's, and Ms. Tegel was not here.
I'm listening.
It was in her purse. And I've been asking for that back since then, and it's has nothing to do with this investigation, has nothing to do with Ms. Tegel. And I'm saying essentially, Tegel, who was here the last time we were here for a PCC, and I'm asking for those items back, that
Cash.
cash back.
Good, so I am under the understanding that there was money recovered, however, what the officers relayed to me was that there was other drugs recovered at this location that had been submitted to MSP, and there may be additional charges being added to this case. They believe that this money is associated to the drug sales, as well as potentially receiving stolen items. And so what they told me that they observed was that there was the license, the driver's license, along with other identification of the defendant in that bag. So they were under the impression that his cards as well as the cash that he had in his possession were placed in that bag. So that's what I believe. I think it's still related to this case. And I think it stems out of potentially added charges to come. But I understand the defense's position as well.
Has nothing to do with Ms. Tenko. She's not, other than being president of that property, she has nothing to do with that. As you can see, because we're making it a different issue, this individual has been injured and was injured at that time of this incident. She is his girlfriend who goes and gets his medicine and everything. He's got to have a replacement.
His legs.
Right, and so there's nothing to suggest why they would take, and these are the.
Let me cut you off again. I think what needs to happen is somebody on her behalf needs to file a motion for return of property.
Oh,
If I understood you correctly, it came out of her purse. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think it would be me now because I've just lost jurisdiction on this.
hold
No.
on.
Don't blame me for asking though. Let's get another exam in here. Next one on my docket would be Patton.
Patton.
What's that? Patton is, yeah, we'll do pool because pool's a waiver. Okay. Jeff, you on more of these?
Yeah, I got two. Well, one's a CSC, but I don't know if you're getting that one, or you have one for.
I think I'm the only one that's got anything scheduled today. Joe just told me we're gonna waive on pool.
Yes. I had the last one here, here on there is. Animal wave. Let's see, this one.
Campbell, we bench warranted.
Alice, I think
I've got Tallis, James, and Patton and Pool left.
Alice, and then I'll have, yeah, Patton. So I have.
All right. Appearances on Pool.
Patton's probably gonna be a little.
Afternoon, Your Honor, my mom was telling me I had people PA 677.
The afternoon, Your Honor, introduce yourself for us, here we have with the pool, if there's a person left, please state your name.
Thank you. We're waiving, counsel?
This project or means to be given will be vetted by version.
All right. Mr. Poole, you understand your rights and options after discussing those with counsel?
Yes, sir.
You understand the purpose for the exam that's scheduled for today?
Yes, sir.
You understand that a waiver means the file's going downtown for the next step in the proceedings? And understanding all of that, you're waiving freely and voluntarily? Counselors, are you satisfied with the waiver? Mr. Mohammed, satisfied with the waiver? All right, good luck downtown, Mr. Poole. Counsel, I need signatures from you and Mr. Poole.
We're gonna get the arraignment date.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, January 6th, 9 a.m. I wrote it, I just didn't do it. 9. Mr. Washington, are you ready on Patton?
Yes,
As soon as they clear that table, come on up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let me get some more water.
Good, good. Thank you. You just get that monitor or something, you get the status.
First one, with the bill of sale, but you know,
That is.
yeah, being a good advocate. Appearances on patent, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Eric Moses on behalf of the people, P 78491.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Earl Washington, neighborhood, Service, B 31383, on behalf of Ms. Chavette Patton.
Okay.
Thank you. We ready?
Yes, Your Honor, the people have only one witness in this case, this is Chanel
All right,
Rel Lindsay.
I'm gonna shut this down. Joe, why not? I don't think Teresa's out there. I've talked to her 3 times today. She hasn't answered me. I think she just got her TV on.
So do you want me to shut everything down?
Yeah. We're not expecting anybody, was though.
Mr. Mullin.